these tech companies really have a lot of us fooled. People actually think that, oh, I've got hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, but actually you don't. They're not actually allowing you to reach all your followers. Last night was a perfect example. So we were broadcasting last night from the Marriott Marquis. We're from the victory party of Senator Raphael Warnock. Now, we were live streaming on all different platforms, Black Star Network, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all the different places. So we were on YouTube, where we have about 960,000 subscribers, okay? We had about 10,000 folks watching live, 10,000 folks watching live at that very time. Now, on Facebook, I have 1.3 million followers. This is how many people were watching at its height. 627. Now, there's no way in the world, folks, we're sitting here with 1.3 million followers and so many people engage in this story and only 627 people watching on Facebook. We have been monitoring this for quite some time. I have sent emails to Facebook, and I've had two different people tell me there's a glitch in our system. So then when I follow up saying, I'm sorry, has the glitch been fixed? Because my followers, people who are actually on Facebook, have hit me and said they have not been receiving their notifications when we go live. Straight up, they've been saying that. And so you need to understand what these companies are doing. In fact, when I posted this last night, let me see if I can find it. When I posted this last night on my Instagram page, there are people who commented and said, oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. They said, I haven't been getting my notifications at all. And so let's see here. So you see here, people actually commenting right here where they watch. Some people say they watched on Roku, they watched other places. And again, this is what they are doing, where people are not getting notified. Isaac Hayes III is the CEO of Fanbase, the founder. He talked about this all the time, how these social media companies are really trying to suck up all the money themselves and not flow it to content providers. And Isaac, glad to have you back. And this is a perfect example. There's no way in hell you can tell me I got 10,000 on YouTube, but 627 on Facebook, and it's not being suppressed.
Yeah. Content suppression is a standard in social media. It's how these platforms make billions and billions of dollars in revenue. In fact, I need to find a statement today that actually one of my colleagues sent me. It was a note about how TikTok is about to make $10 billion in ad revenue off of free content provided by the users, that they're running ads in between. And so what happens is these platforms realize that, Roland, if you can reach 1.5 million people every time you broadcast or go live,
right,
companies can come to you and pay you directly and not run ads on their platform. So they smush everybody's content down to about 3 to 5% of their following. So then you are not a viable option for most people to advertise to, because your metrics don't look like you have a broad reach. When you actually do, they're just suppressing your content.
And see, what people have to understand, so here's a perfect example. When you start talking about ratings, okay? This is from Mediaite. So just so y'all understand, these were the total viewers, okay? So this is yesterday. Fox and Friends morning show, 963,000 total viewers. CNN's morning show, 300,000 total viewers. Morning Joe, 890,000 total viewers. Newsmax, News Nation, 15,000, 14,000, okay? So let's go on down here to, let's see. So you see right here, folks, you're seeing, so Fox, largest network, outnumbered 1.5 million. America Reports 1.4 million. Then you get to Neil Cavuto 1.7 million. The Five 3.5 million. Brett Baer 2.7 million. Jesse Waters 3 million. Tucker Carlson 3.2 million. Sean Hannity 3.2 million. Laura Ingraham 2.8 million. Greg Gutfeld 2 million. Okay, so what Isaac is saying is that if they're not suppressing numbers, let's say on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, I actually, if I'm streaming to Twitter, to Facebook, and Instagram simultaneously, I would actually, with my numbers, I would be reaching more people than a number of the top-rated shows on Fox News.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's currency. And I can go out and go to advertisers and sell that.
Absolutely. I mean, social media's entire business is built on advertising. And it's actually a dying business. A lot of platforms are going to lose billions of dollars in revenue because consumers are being told their options about being tracked, you know, inside their phone, outside their phone. And they're opting out of a lot of these platforms being able to track them when they're not using the app. A lot of these apps can track you when you're not using the app, and they're still getting data on you, places you go, places you frequent, what stores you shop in, all the things that they can sell to companies to target you based off geolocated ads. So if you're driving and you stop at Chick-fil-A, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok can know that you stopped at Chick-fil-A, so therefore they can sell an ad to Chick-fil-A to target you later on just by you driving close to Chick-fil-A. It's really, you know, remarkable the way that these platforms are able to track you, but that's how they do that. And so that's why everybody on social media, their content is suppressed. And so that's something that we don't want to do when we don't do a fan base. We want to, you know, we remove the limitation that allows people to see your content. However many followers you wind up with on fan base is how many people wind up seeing your content, either right when you post it or when they come on the app to post it.
And the reason they are pissed at Apple is because Apple changed the game by allowing you to opt out of being tracked. Mark Zuckerberg the other day was going off on Apple for that reason, because Apple's decision has cost him billions.
Absolutely. It's a big shift in the culture. And so you're seeing platforms try to offset that by asking you, the user, to boost your post to reach people that already want to see you.
Yeah, so they want me to pay to boost to people who've already agreed to be notified when I go live.
Right. Yes, so they want you to advertise to your own following, but pay them.
Crazy. Questions from our panel. Then we'll talk about fan base in a second. Let's see, Larry, you're first.
Yeah, so I guess my question is, and obviously Roland is on the show, you talked about the importance of Black tech and what you're doing in fan base. But can we talk about the importance of collective economic, combining our economic interests as a Black community? What are some of the things we need to do as a Black community to continue to make sure, particularly as it relates to tech, that we collectively come together, pool our resources to make sure, like I said, corporations like Apple, et cetera, that those are corporations started by us, people look like us, and then we can also, as it relates to generational wealth?
Well, I think, you know, we face a disadvantage in this country by our suppression and white supremacy that you know have kind of existed with Black people. So we have to be intentional about where we direct our energy. We, unfortunately, for someone like myself who builds an app that is for all people, but I happen to be a Black founder, it's assumed that it's built for only Black people. And so then they're allowed to limit and marginalize. And so to other people, that doesn't look like some place that people want to go and experience and all that kind of stuff. So we have to be very, very intentional about where we direct our dollars. It's very a focused effort, because we don't own the infrastructures of these platforms that are extremely popular. Like Elon Musk now is a private owner of Twitter. He can treat Twitter however he wants to treat Twitter. It's a private company. He owns it. It's his. he can do with it whatever he wants to now that he's taking it back private. So it's one of the reasons why I built Fanbase, is because I feel like Black culture contributes so much to social media. It's the economic engine of social media. It's what drives the culture and the pace of what everything does. They want to know, like, it's impossible to market and promote anything as being cool without the assistance of Black people. You need our music, you need dances, you need slang, you need our fashion, you need us to decide that. But we don't collectively use that in infrastructures to be able to say, all right, now you can pay money to run through our infrastructure, and we give our culture to that. That's one of the reasons, like I said, Fanbase is a way to share the wealth. It's a way to allow anybody, doesn't matter who you are, it's free to download, free to use, but you can actually monetize your content yourself and be as big as you want to be. There's no limit on the amount of revenue that you can make, being that 7.5 billion people have smartphones on the planet, and they can subscribe to you with a couple clicks of a button. So if people are intentional about supporting platforms like Fanbase's value increases just as much as any other platform by the users that are on it. So if everybody left Instagram today, Instagram will be worth $0.00. If everybody that was on Instagram came to Fanbase would have the exact same value that Instagram has. It's the user base, which provides the value. So that's understanding that we are intentional about moving our energy and our conversation and our content and our culture over to platforms like Fanbase, Blackstar, and continue to do that. Then we can, monetize and support our culture and actually be the mouthpiece and the voice of our culture, and not to be filtered through these other media networks.
And that's why, you had put out, hey, if 1 million Black folks or 1 million people, period, move over to Fanbase, you will launch a feature that's very similar to Twitter, and then we can be having conversations on Fanbase like we do on Twitter.
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. Like 1 million people on Fanbase just allows me to actually raise the capital to build exactly what people want, and actually in a relatively short amount of time, probably about 2 or 3 months. So that's why I said, like, if we had a mass migration of users to Fanbase and said, hey, we're going to Fanbase, set up our profiles. And I mean, our tech team is savvy. One of the things that I told everybody to do is don't leave Twitter yet. Stay on Twitter. In fact, stay on Twitter and download your Twitter archive. Download it, right? So when you have your data, you can download all your tweets, download all of them. So whenever we do launch this new functionality feature, you'll be able to upload your tweets to the new platform, and it'll be like you just moved over. You just packed your stuff on over. So I tell everybody, download your Twitter archive, tell your friends to create Fanbase accounts, come on over. We have audio rooms. There's plenty to do while we build that functionality, but come on over and enjoy what we have, and then and we'll launch that functionality.
I had somebody, Isaac, ask me, why are you still on Twitter? I said, because I'm going to keep telling people to go to Fanbase.
Yeah. You're following. Look, you can't get emotional about the way that these platforms treat you. You have earned the following that you've earned, Roland. You don't walk away from it, right? You keep it. You still continue to use it to your advantage to drive people to places where you can connect with them, engage with them, and monetize and do all types of stuff with them. And that's for every user on social media. Don't delete your Twitter, don't delete your Instagram, keep it. Just hold on to it. Platforms like Fanbase allow you to migrate your entire Instagram page. You can migrate your TikTok account over to Fanbase, and you will be able to migrate your Twitter. I've already built, like I said, you can already migrate Instagram. So everything stays on Instagram. It just copies it and pastes it over to Fanbase. Everything stays on TikTok. It copies it and pastes it over on Fanbase. So you have to start all over again. You have to start, your content from scratch. I wanted to make that people have an option, a choice where they want to spend their time and spend posting content.
Rebecca?
If ad tracking and engagement suppression is a part of the business model for Meta, then what is the business model for Fanbase?
So Fanbase is a rev share model. So every single person on the platform has the ability for someone to subscribe to them for $4.99 a month. We use in-app purchase technology, and Fanbase was the very first app to allow a person to subscribe to another person using an in-app purchase, like 2 clicks of a button and you're subscribed. You're seeing Instagram do that now. You're seeing Elon Musk with Twitter, super follows and Twitter Blue, but initially Apple and Google wouldn't allow us to do that. So I take pride in understanding that it sounds crazy, but Fanbase was the first app to allow you to subscribe in that fashion. Not OnlyFans, not Patreon, but be able to use in-app purchases. For that very reason, Google and Apple take 30 cents of every dollar. We take 20 and pass 50 to the user. So you make $2.50 a subscriber. People can love your posts. Every time someone loves a photo, you get half a penny. I see people make $5 on photos that they would have posted on Instagram and they make nothing off of because someone gave them, 1,000 loves, which is $5 in real cash that you can actually deposit into your bank account at the end of the month, right? And so that is our model. It's a rev share model. And I tell everybody, it's the future. When I mean it's the future, there are 7.5 billion people with smartphones. There are only 222 million people that have Netflix. There's only 525 million people on music streaming services. So people subscribing to other people for specific content that they want, that specific news program, that specific cook, that specific fitness expert, that specific comedian is going to be bigger than Netflix and Disney Plus and Spotify and Apple Music combined. So fan base is I'm telling the world that if you're not monetizing your content today, think about this. All it takes is 5,000 people paying you $2.50 a month. You make $12,500 a month. You make $150,000 a year. That's more than 96% of Americans make. And the average American salary is like $47,000. So all you need is 5,000 people, and you'll be making almost 3 times what you would make in the average American salary, but also creating content that you want. And so that's the future of content creation and monetization for people.
And the thing is, before I go to Joe, the thing is, I mean, look, it's passive. I'm literally just, I was just clicking on here, and just right now, y'all go to it. I post stuff, y'all. I don't, I'm not like going crazy, but this is just real basic. I posted stuff, and you see right here, I've gotten loves. I've got, I made $263.46. And that's just, and again, I haven't hit it hard. I mean, that's just passive. I mean, there are times where I've gone on live and I'm working out, and folks are giving me loves, listening to my music as I'm working out. I'm literally making money just being live, working out, and folks are enjoying the music.
Yeah, I mean, that's the gift that I wanted to give everybody, because technology, AI, there's going to be a lot of job replacement. And so people are going to need alternative ways to make income. And everybody doesn't want to do OnlyFans. You're not going to be able to drive Uber that much, but everybody has a skill or a trade and might find that they have a knack or a passion for creating really good content, or people are or being an interesting person. You travel and people want to subscribe to your travel videos, and you turn that into an actual business that you can scale from subscription. It's dependable revenue. It's predictable revenue, month over month, that you can actually, change and alter and do things to continue to scale that. So that's something I think is.
And you're not making anybody do it. It's all up to them if they want to actually do it.
Yep, it's not forced at all.
Joe.
No.
Yeah, thanks. First of all, I'm getting on fan base as we speak, so I'm multitasking. But what I want to do is I want to ask you, as it pertains to young folks, is there an age restriction for fan base? And then this larger question, how do we go past? Kids are so good, young people are so good at. I look at how my daughter operates her phone and all this other stuff. They're so intuitive, and they understand Twitch, and they understand all of these other things. Past them just understanding it as consumers and users, what are we doing, and what are you doing, and what are you encouraging, not only fan base in particular, but in terms of social media in general, to encourage that they get behind the scenes and really start to understand. Now, we're different. We're in a paper generation where for me, my thing was Billboard magazine. I started picking it apart. I loved it. Okay. I love the liner notes, So how do we get young folks into the liner notes of social media so that they can be the next Isaac Hayes III?
Well, number one, they really are already there. They're just on platforms that you don't really know about. And what I talk about is that kids are very, very communal themselves. And so I always say that every social media platform has a lifespan. It will live, it will die, right? MySpace is dead. Facebook is a senior citizen. Instagram is a middle-aged adult. Snapchat's a millennial. TikTok's a centennial. And I built fan base for really the centennial generation alpha, but everybody can use it. And so kids are always going to want to be on platforms that their parents are not on. As soon as my mom got on Facebook, I left Facebook. There are kids right now going, mom's on TikTok. And they're going, oh, mom's on TikTok. We got to move. where's the next party? Because mom just crashed a party and now she's doing TikToks. And so for kids, I mean, they're extremely savvy. My brother, who is 16 years old, my little brother, he doesn't know paper money. He knows Cash App and his step card and digital transactions. And so these kids are extremely savvy. The age limit is the same pretty much on all social media. 13 is the minimum age to create an account on Fanbase. And again, I just think of the billions, if not trillions of dollars that are going to be generated by people that monetize their content. And I give this as a warning to anybody that is listening that is even if you don't make content, I'm going to tell you this. If you do not start monetizing your content today in some way, shape, or form, you are going to get out-earned by someone that is less talented than you are, that simply decided to do so, that decided to put the energy to do so, decided to put the creativity to do so, and it's going to change their life. There are people that are going to make millions and billions of dollars from monetizing their content, and you're going to say, how did you get so rich? Oh, I got on Fanbase, and I have 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, and I'm making, millions a year doing so. So, I mean, that's really the point that I tell everybody. And more importantly, it's also the ability, what I talk about with Fanbase, is also investing. And that's something that, we've been allowing people to invest in the platform. And I think significant as well. And I wanted to share that because we've raised over $7 million in equity crowdfunding. One of the reasons why I went this way is because it allows the user to actually own part of the platform. So you actually have stock, like if you could go back in time, and I'm just going to be hypothetical, if you could go back in time and buy shares in Facebook in its seed round, would you do it? Or Instagram in its seed round, would you do it? Knowing that these companies are worth $400 billion, $200 billion when they were worth, 20, 25 million, 50 million, 100 million. That's the stage that Fanbase is right now. Fanbase is valued at $85 million. We just crossed $1.75 million today raised. I'm stopping at 2.5 million. It's going to be the final round that I allow the public to invest in Fanbase. When I tell you, if you don't go to startengine.com/Fanbase and invest, you're going to regret it because this is your opportunity to actually own part of a platform that you use. If you're going to sit on Clubhouse all day and talk, buy some shares in Fanbase and talk on Fanbase. If you're going to do dances on TikTok, buy some shares in Fanbase and make flicks on Fanbase. If you're gonna do skits on Instagram, buy some shares in Fanbase and do those things on Fanbase because now you're an owner. You actually have equity. And so we've been very, very successful, and I'm really proud to be able to offer that. The largest distribution of wealth to Black people in this country was when Bob Johnson sold BET. He made more Black millionaires when he sold BET. I want to obliterate that record. I want to one day IPO or exit with Fanbase because we have over like 8,000 investors. And I want to be standing in a room with 8,000 plus people who are all millionaires, multimillionaires, or billionaires who invested in Fanbase because this is what's next and this is what's going to happen. So, and the minimum to invest in Fanbase is $245. So you can go to startengine.com/Fanbase and buy some shares in Fanbase for us. Buy some shares for your kids for Christmas. Like buy shares as a Christmas present. Like make it something that you can gift somebody because equity is a gift that can keep on giving and it might change your life in a way that you never could imagine.
Well, look, I'm an investor in Fanbase. My mama and daddy actually invested in Fanbase as well, and they 75 years old. So, folks, don't sit here and act like, that's some kind of age limit. This is the thinking that we're always trying to get our people to be at, and that's where it needs to be. Now, we played the video here. You've raised $1.75 million. How much what is your goal for this final round? And as you said, when that's it, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I'm going to 2.5 million. And mind you, we raised this 1.75 million and relatively fast. And when I do programs like yours, we see really like spikes in investment, like hundreds of thousands of dollars in investment when I do programs like yours. And so it's amazing. And I'm doing a couple other big programs. So that's why I tell everybody, like, I'm going to wrap this thing up before Christmas. Like we're going to close this thing down in the next, 2 weeks. So I tell everybody, call your friends, tell your friends, hey, look, just put 245, 500, whatever, make it a stocking stuffer. Like I said, get it stocking stuffer, like stock and you know, buy some shares in Fanbase for the holidays.
So you're only going to raise.
We actually did a brand new update today. We have audio rooms that are very similar to Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. You can now pin links, so you can take a URL and pin it to the top of an audio room and have a conversation. So if you're talking about something that you want to promote, you can actually promote it inside the audio room. People can click there and go there. It could be a product, it could be a website, it could be a story, anything you want. So now you can actually use audio as a way to market and promote things that you want people to do. It could be a store, it doesn't matter. So that's a brand new functionality. We have a lot of other really cool things coming before the end of the year. And then 2023 is Series A time, and that's go time. That's when we raise, you know, in excess of $20 million and go further. So I want everybody to get in now before it's too late.
So again, folks, look, when they raise this final 750 grand, that's it. So you can't say you didn't know, you didn't have an opportunity to hear about it. We've had Isaac on the show several times now talking about this. And so, look, this is why we have Tech Talk. Go ahead.
You know, I don't want to, and I don't think people understand, and I haven't really framed it like this because it doesn't get covered in this fashion. This is history. Like, there's never been a person like me of color to get this close to where we are now, except maybe Black Planet. We haven't been this close since Black Planet, where a Black founder has built a social media platform, but it's in the modern era where you can actually have people invest in it and own part of it. And then you can actually monetize it if you want to and make money, or you can use it for free just to be entertained. And like, you know, I'm the first Black man to ever raise over $5 million in equity crowdfunding. I am an outsider to the tech space. I'm the guy that they don't want to take the culture and the technology and put it under one roof, because when that happens, where do they exploit the culture to make money? So I am someone that they are very afraid. That's why everything that we build, they launch and try to copy. Oh, they got subscriptions, we need to do that. You can see how fast your video uploads on the platform. They can do that. Like all these things, monetization, we need to do that. Loves, all this kind of stuff. So they see what's coming because they've underserved the audience on social for so long. And the Black community is a big part of that. So Fanbase is something that is truly historic. And I keep telling people that, like, this is something that's never been done.
And let me say this to the people, and I've seen your comments. Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. Go back to Facebook when they started. Go back to Twitter when they started. Go back to Instagram when they started. Every single one of those apps had tech issues and glitches, and you sort those things out. They were not running at optimum level. I mean, Facebook was shutting down computer systems on college campuses.
Yeah, but Roland, those platforms didn't even have nowhere near the functionality that Fanbase had.
Right.
When Instagram came out, Instagram had photos with filters. It didn't have DMs. It didn't have stories. It didn't have live. It didn't have long form content. It didn't have audio rooms. It didn't have monetization.
And I think videos were like 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
15-second videos. Like I've come into the game with photo and video, long form content up to 2 hours, stories that are monetized, audio rooms that are monetized, short form video, and live that is monetized. It's like, this is not like, and I'm so proud of the tech team and what they've been able to accomplish, because this is pretty remarkable. And the fact that we've done it with resources that are 1/1000th of what an Instagram or a TikTok would have. But when you look at the app and you use the app, you say, you built all this with less than $5-6 million? Oh my goodness, like, imagine what you're gonna do with 20 million.
There you go.
Some of these platforms is $13 billion. What you think I'm gonna do with 500 million? What you think I'm gonna do with $1 billion? Like, this is real deal tech right here, and a real opportunity that, you know, our community and anybody that wants to invest in social media and tech startups needs to take.
All right, folks. Again, go to Start Engine if you want to invest in the fan base. As I said, I'm an investor. Look, do what we do. It's important, and again, it's about creating wealth. I keep telling y'all, what did I say on Monday about Deion Sanders? If you're pissed off at Deion, but you're not investing in Black institutions, I don't want to hear your mouth. I'm tired of us being the show. Black people, we are the show. Slavery, those mandingos, were the show. I'm tired of us being the show. I want us to be the business.
The business.
I want us to be the business in show business. The business. Because that's who doesn't have to dance or sing or do anything, and they sit back and they actually make more than those who are the show.
Can I tell one more quick story?
Go ahead.
I met Grandmaster Flash about a month ago. And when I met him, the first thing I told him was, the moment you DJ'd on 2 turntables and a mixer, somebody should have pulled you to the side and said, do not show anybody what you just showed me. Let's go figure out how to build turntables and mixers. Because everybody that does that is going to need turntables and mixers. Fast forward to 2023, DJ culture is like a $9 to $10 billion a year culture, but it's owned by Pioneer. It's owned by Techniques. It's owned by Serato. Everybody, to the point that the 2 turntables and a mixer that Grandmaster Flash used is now a piece of hardware that you can buy. It should be called the Flash 5000, and he should be worth about $6 billion, sitting up in some mega mansion talking about, I'm the godfather of DJ culture, but that's not the case. We give our IP away for free, then allow other people to conceptualize it, turn it into an infrastructure and monetize it, and then we're just the gas, but they built the car.
Yep.
We got to build the car. We the best gas. We the hottest gas in the universe. Like, African-American culture is 600 years old. It's the smallest and youngest culture group on earth, but it is the hottest-ish in the universe. It is the vibranium. It is the everything that is. And so if we don't turn our innovations into acquisitions, we are doing ourselves an eternal disservice. Like, we have to do that. And so I'm so passionate about that. And that's, like I said, that's the purpose of Fanbase. That's why I tell people to invest. It's like, we can't look at each other as adversaries. You know, when Claude Anderson says you got to pool your money, it's like team power. It's not individual power. You pool your resources. You don't compete. If people say, oh, we're not a monolith. No, let's be a monolith. Let's all be a monolith. Let's monolithically support one platform. Let's monolithically, invest in one platform and monolithically support one platform and watch the benefits of that. Facebook made $113 billion in ad revenue in 2021. Ask them to donate $5 billion to the hood and see what they tell you. They're gonna say, keep doing them dances though. But no, we're not gonna give $5 billion to Jackson or Flint, to fix the water. We're not gonna put money in inner city communities. We're not gonna do that. That's the purpose.
And what we're gonna do, we're gonna suppress black news sites so you don't get this kind of information so you can keep on dancing because you're the show. Because you're the show. Isaac, we appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, folks. Go to Start Engine and look up Fanbase on Start Engine. Isaac, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, bro. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause, to long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com.